Welcome to the news. Represented, my name is Jessie Kalambo. The headlines. Tobacco farmers in Eastern Province still mourning let RB. Lemezi MP exposes irregularity behind the recruitment of health workers. 20 Kapasika drivers still in custody for theft. Angry artists laments over government's failure to pay dues since the youth Indaba. The London marketeers labels LCC failure, urges government to intervene. The government to take access to information bill to all provinces. And now the news in detail. The amazing Member of Parliament, Munia Zulu, on Friday morning exposed some irregularities surrounding the announced massive recruitment of 11,000 health workers by government. Mr. Zulu on Friday rose on a point of order to question the motive by the Ministry of Health in the advert which seeks to employ a cleaner at Mpingozi Health Post. The building, he says, is incomplete. He says Mpingozi Health Post is not in operational, yet for it to require a cleaner, hence the advert is fake. And in response, Health Minister Siva Masebo admitted and apologized to Mr. Zulu for the irregularities in the numbers of those to be recruited.
Member for Lumezi.
Thank you very kind, Madam Speaker.
On a point of order, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, permit the good people of Lumezi to agree with the submissions made by the Honorable Minister of Health, and using this very platform, Madam Speaker, permit the good people of Lumezi to mention that we love President Hakainde Hichilema. Genuinely so, not because we are serving in his cabinet, but because we want him to succeed. When he succeeds, the country succeeds. Madam Speaker, the good people of Lumezi elected a member that has an industrious career. Before coming here, we are not here to make money, but to save. Madam Speaker, permit the good people of Lumezi to agree with the minister that there have been fake pronouncements being made that there are 1,000 workers this side, yet there are ghost workers. Madam Speaker, permit the good people of Lumezi to equally agree that in Lumezi, where the advert reads that they need a cleaner at Mpingozi Mission Hospital, Mpingozi Healthy Post, it is an incomplete building. So it's also a fake advert, Madam Speaker. What we need is to complete the building at Mpingozi Healthy Center. I think we have rushed to advertise for jobs that don't exist. And Honorable Minister, when we are delivering messages, don't look at questions with political lenses. We are here to save the people of Zambia. My question then is,
yes, what is the question?
What do you intend to do on these adverts that are fake? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you very, very much, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Honorable, for your follow-up question. The reason for coming here is exactly to get this kind of information. You have, for example, mentioned to me here that you actually agree with us when we say the process had irregularities, and therefore we are going to take time to verify all this information. That's why, although we said 1st of April, we are now saying 1st of May. I want your support. Instead of saying, these are liars, they said 1st of May. Yes, we said 1st of May, but look at the situation. Look at the situation. Maybe if we had a different person in this ministry, maybe they would not even have seen that. So you should also appreciate that at least I have big eyes. I have double eyes. I was able to see quickly. So, thank you for what you have said, and we'll take up to verify that, in fact, that structure is not even there. Madam Speaker, I did mention that clearly the numbers are wrong, whether by accident, whether by design. Those are things the auditors will tell us now as they quickly move in to verify. And you as members of parliament, please help us. Quickly give us those information within your constituencies and we'll quickly verify so that at the end of the week, I'm very sure that this can be a one-week exercise, will be done. And we'll be placing the right people in the right areas where there is a genuine clinic, not a foundation, not a building that will take another 2 years to finish. Then the question is, why does somebody want? That's why I said, maybe there was a ploy to get all these numbers, and then the people they've employed, whom now they want to start pushing in without us knowing. We don't know. Yeah. We have to work together. Yeah. You saw on the social media yourselves letters flying around that people have been employed. And the question was how? Because we are saying we are going to employ this year. And if these people are already not in the system, why give them employment? Why not ask them to apply so that we consider them like everybody else? So these are some of the issues that we must all look at. This is our country, yes. All of us, yeah. And we all have interest. Even those who are not members of parliament have interest. Yeah.
The Zambia Police Service is still holding on to the 20 Kapesika tanker drivers on allegations of stealing fuel without charges or recording statements from them. The drivers, who were detained on Thursday evening, are being held at Kanyama Police Station after spending a night at Charleston Police. A family member to one of the detainees' drivers, who opted to withhold her name, has told Muvi TV News that by Saturday no statements had been recorded by the police. However, Lusaka Province Deputy Police Commissioner James Masiye has confirmed that the service is in receipt of the complaint of 21 drivers and 3 security guards in connection with disappearance of fuel worth about 102,000 kwacha. Mr. Masiye says by Thursday the drivers were being questioned over the disappearance of the said fuel.
Been in receipt of a complaint of disappearance of fuel amounting to 102,000 kwacha, involving 21 drivers and 3 security guards of Kapesika Energy and Petroleum.
There is a complaint against about 21 drivers and the 3 security guards. Concerning disappearance of diesel worth more than 102,000 kwacha. So the police are investigating into it. No, what I know that by yesterday they were being questioned.
However, a family member to one of the drivers told Muvi TV News on Saturday that no statement had been recorded from the detained drivers. According to the laws of Zambia, no person shall be detained in police custody for more than 48 hours without a charge. For Muvi TV News, I'm Afias Kaptula in Lusaka.
Drivers in Manza district of Lapula province are worried with the looming fuel pump price by government. Martin Chanda has told Muvi TV News that the removal of subsidies from fuel has negatively affected the country, especially drivers and business people who entirely depend on fuel for their survival, as the current fuel prices has made them to stop making profit. And another driver, Lois Chama, says he and other drivers are facing challenges in increasing transport fees each time fuel is increased due to customers' failure to pay. The drivers have since called on government to rescind such plans for the sake of the poor citizens.
Fuel prices in Zambia, which has contributed to a rise in commodities, as diesel is currently at 21 kwacha 54 ngwe and petrol at 21 kwacha 16 ngwe respectively. The said prices of fuel are likely to be revised soon, which may trigger commodities to go up. Some drivers and businessmen talked to in Manza district over the likely increment in fuel pump prices. I've wondered how they will manage their businesses, as it has already become difficult for them. The drivers explain how difficult it has been to maintain their business after the hike in fuel pump prices.
Ekitanga twalunde emitengo bakasitoma balina baleekaana balenda panshi lero kimbi futi mwabika fuel mu moto batalina epaka walulidda mwalaenda mufe tawaendera okuyafika kusenama ni fuel yatajani ya moto gaimoine tureista fuel omutengo ba polisi na bena wale tuikata mumpya chipoche tulepanga muri fuel ikwecho mutengo so kwela tuchipokerere cha kulunda fuel
kushita fuel tureshita langu 25 kwacha felita elo ifo pasenama senama ndiri kwacha tatwalundo mutengo yo atulundo mutengo tutintana na taxi drivers ababalonga iko twashala fe mutengo lawi ne fe wakale sa pechina piliula motoka ile sonkela identity aikwete market muno mumansa mumwesi ama black number yale bomba
balalunda fuel nomba abantu barayirishanya okulakwera lyonse barayirishanya okulakwera nomba fuel futi wasita 1 liter ene 1 liter walafika fe kulakwini kusenama wabwera na profit tamulina ngukama.
For others in business, they add this to say,
kabarunde befuel bachitofo balefo akairi twalivota kale tapale voto ingachita lero ishitaika tingalanda kozi etwale chite ishite ilionsa hapana pavarunda tanesha twale pifaya kwa bambe tugira mu business so itwale katede twale twikata finfionso bakora balerunda so bachitofo balefo nembati ishitaika kapantu wabigire konifo.
The soon hike in fuel prices will be attributed to the current conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Helen Chisha reporting for Muvi TV News in Mansa District.
Some concerned artists who were hired by government to offer their musical performance at the National Youth Indaba that was held from 10th to 11th of March 2022 have taken government to task demanding for their payments. In videos circulating on social media, the artists have lamented that they have not received payments for the services rendered to government in spicing up Youth Indaba. The artists have called out the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Arts Permanent Secretary Kangwa Chileshe to ensure that the payments are made quickly because artists feed from such activities.
On matters impacting on the youth at district, provincial and national level.
The 2022 National Youth Indaba has been hailed by many as an event of its kind, and perhaps rightly so, as it was aimed at getting solutions from the youths themselves who are facing challenges such as youth unemployment. The Indaba drew youths from all 10 provinces of the country and gathered from the 10th to 11th of March 2022 at Mulongoshi International Conference Center in Lusaka. Musicians were also present to spice up the event. Against all this background, cracks have started appearing from the seemingly magnanimous organization of this grand event, with some artists taking to social media demanding their pay for performances at the event.
Chachira mwabantu bakwesa, this is not the first time. Lekeni njiri shanya kwa ushikuwarero ufantu fiachira. Mwari tuita, tuwaisa tuwabomba kuyuthi indaba na panota turafola. Mwaracha tekela tuwalasa by version na mafamilies yesu. Idu intu mwatu itireta mwatu perepo upfront na down payment. Ngefa tubomba ama artist. Turabomba na upfront na down payment ya kwa tuwabomba transport nefia shala. But tuwarini nene ndarama shesu. Ama artist munchende shale kananekana bari minoku wontie ndarama shabu. Ama transport yabo, lodging yabo. Fweba mpano na lodging itaturaripira. Bachiri bale tupinda. Turese bana. Tuwafuilisha nibaraba minister please tuwapapata. Chachira mwabantu bakwesa, this is not the first time. Lekeni njiri shanya kwa ushikuwarero ufantu fiachira. Mwari tuita, tuwaisa tuwabomba kuyuthi indaba na panota turafola. Mwaracha tekela tuwalasa by version na mafamilies yesu. Idu intu mwatu itireta mwatu perepo upfront na down payment. Ngefa tubomba ama artist. Turabomba na upfront na down payment ya kwa tuwabomba transport nefia shala. But tuwarini nene ndarama shesu. Ama artist munchende shale kananekana bari minoku wontie ndarama shabu. Ama transport yabo, lodging yabo. Fweba mpano na lodging itaturaripira. Bachiri bale tupinda. Turese bana. twafuirisha nibalaba minister please twapapata.
The artists have called on the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Arts, Chilesha Kangwa, to address their issue urgently.
I know I'm a praise singers, Maranda. No, this is not the right way to fight this. Sometimes, it reaches a point whereby it ends up to be the right way to do it. I want to tell you this. Number one, there are the Ministry of Youth, Sports and whatever. Particularly the permanent secretary Kangwa Chilesha and his crew. Please, can you pay us the money for the performances at Indaba, Youth Indaba? This is becoming too much.
Efforts to get a comment from Mr. Kangwa proved futile as he was locked up in a meeting at broadcast time. For Muvi TV News, I'm Afias Kaptula in Lusaka.
We'll take a break on that note. Still to come is more news items. Stay tuned.
Istana ya Afrika ya kubende chalo akamwana kanono nomsepela kuikala chapamo kuribe kumunzi kuribe mutauni kumatero aliyenze afunika.
The Zambia Statistics Agency will this year conduct the census across the country. The census aims to count people in households, rural and urban, hospitals, military, police and correctional facilities. This numbering will extend to hotels, farms, as well as high-density areas with different families sharing a house and those in transitory locations. Every person in the country matters and should be counted because the census will benefit all, from migrants, refugees and street children, homeless people, the young and the old people, as well as persons with disabilities. Everyone counts. This message is brought to you by the Zambia Statistics Agency.
Fairview University College is enrolling students for the January-April 2022 intake in the following: School of Education, Bachelor of Education in Early Childhood Education, Bachelor of Education in Primary Education, Bachelor of Education in Secondary Education, Bachelor of Education in Special Education, Diploma in Early Childhood Education, Diploma in Primary Education, Diploma in Secondary Education, Diploma in Special Education, Certificate in Early Childhood Education, School of Humanities and Social Sciences, Diploma in Public Relations, School of Hotel and Tourism, Diploma in Food and Production, Diploma in Front Office, Diploma in Food and Beverages Management, Diploma in Hospitality and Events Management, and Diploma in Sales and Marketing. For more information, visit us at Regent College along Kwazi Road or the North Mid Campus at plot number 11 Luamba Road, Lusaka, or call us on 0955 787114 or 0966 787114 or 0977 787114. Fairview University College. We aim at excellence.
One expert, anyone can get lucky.
So here's how to pay using Airtel Money. Ensure your decoder is turned on and tuned to channel 1. Dial *778#, then select the option that says Make Payment. Select Pay TV, then select Movie TV. Enter the 12-digit smart card number, then enter the amount you wish to pay. Enter the Movie TV account number, omitting the dash before the last digit. Then select the amount you wish to pay.
For inquiries, call customer care on 0764 250055 or 0764 250052 or 0978 732 411 or 0978 732 412.
Welcome back. In other news, some concerned marketeers at Lusaka's Lilanda market have demanded the reversal of the market to cooperative as opposed to being managed by the Lusaka City Council, LCC. Judith Mushauka, former Lilanda market secretary, has charged the council has no capacity to run the affairs of the market, going by its failure to collect the piling up of garbage in the market. And the market acting chairperson Jonathan Kandele says already the market has no security to protect their merchandise, hence the need for government to give back the running of the affairs to the cooperatives.
Acting chairperson wa cooperative Rwanda market. Complaint amene ilipo mu Rwanda market since the time anabura kamba kuti batenga ba council market vintu sivyenda monga mwamene vilili and taesa kwenda ku council kwenda kufunza kamba kuti market ili kuti naenda ku registrar na kamba kuti market is still for cooperative. Ku council tunaenda hapo na kamba kuti council ina market yali 36 ma markets yali 86 yali 68 ni ya cooperative including Landa market wanakamba kuti ni ya cooperative. Kwa mene tinambera yonkani we go ahead kwenda kuti tifufuze timbere kuma authorities then pane tinaenda ku council kwa mene tinankala na ba council kamba na wanakamba ta no I think yonkani zabura pa ground zabwere tikakambe but ba council siwabwera then bali pirisa ndrama batenga ba council but mulibe security kati market mulibe security to toilet vano kuona timanzi vane tipita so toilet mukati
Landa cooperative market. At the same time, I'm the treasurer for 68 cooperative markets in Lusaka. At the same time, I'm the board member for Corps Trading Company, which was formed by Lusaka Union of Marketeers and LODCU together with the ZCF. Dandaulo yatu ni pano pamene na bwera sinikambira. I'm not the spokesperson for Lusaka Union of Marketeers, but na bwero kamba nkani ya market chifukwa ndine member wa cooperative muno mu market. Chamechi chitika mu market vanatifyenga mu 2018 makadas vanabwera kupwanya office yatu iyi amene mwaona ili hapa. This office was built using shareholders money. Ni ndalama zatu zamene vene vandalama ma members vaklema ma dividends, but Lusaka City Council vanabwera kungenera muri makadas noyamba ku running a market vaklema ati kwenze mulandu ku koti vanawina uja mulandu amene wenze ku koti 68 cooperative markets ndiye ina swinga inkani ngati zona vanawina vangatengepo market imozi mulantu muli pano vangatenge yonse ma markets vangatenga yonse mu PF tinavutika maningi andikwana ino ndiye new dawn government and itaenda office to office and we are protected by the same law which protects them. We are protected under Article 20 of 1998 of the laws of Zambia in Parliament. Isemonga mamarketeers tinkale bwino ndio chameti na ikirapo manje ukapola ukalikupitiliza so chabe so stifuna kuvutika so tifuna
ni wamene anabwera kuyimirira muno na ukamba kuti mamarket yonse vakanso vazatenga then mamarket aya anapezeka kuti ino Lilanda yeka ni yamene vanatenga nishi ilamulo ni zona inachoka kuboma oro inachoka kuti inachoka kuti kwa mene inachoka chifukwa ngati ni boma yamene inaleta ulamuliro uyu mamarket yonse sembe wanachinja sembe yanankala mukanso manje palichi taona kuti ni mpamvu za ndani za Saulos zamene anasebenzesa baeka so palichi tifuna market ichite bwanji ibwerele mu cooperative chifukwa
The National Quality for Education in Zambia, NAQUEZ, has expressed confidence that the announced recruitment of 11,700 health workers also signals the soon-to-commence recruitment of planned 30,000 teachers. NAQUEZ Executive Director Aaron Chanza says the stakeholders in the education sector are hoping that the government will announce the recruitment of teachers by mid-April 2022. Mr. Chanza says that just like the health sector, the education sector is in dire need of human resource capacity to ensure delivery of quality education.
We are happy that government has finally advertised for the recruitment of health workers. This should be good news to all those who have been waiting to be recruited as health personnel, and we hope that this should be something that should signal the coming on board of the 30,000 teachers. We want to see that process also start. These teachers most in rural areas where they are critically needed. A lot of classes are overcrowded now. And we strongly appeal to the Treasury, the Ministry of Education, and also the Teaching Service Commission to quickly work on the recruitment of 30,000 teachers. Teachers are waiting, and we can't wait to see that advert.
The tobacco farmers in Lendazi district of Eastern Province are still mourning the late fourth Republican President Rupia Banda, close to a week since his burial. Blessings Banda of Mapili village in Chief Mwasa's area told Muvi TV News in Lundazi that it is unfortunate that Eastern Province has no marketing floor where flu-cured tobacco farmers can sell their produce. Mr. Banda says the lack of tobacco market in the province has subjected farmers to harsh conditions while they need to transport their tobacco to Lusaka at a cost of about 300 kwacha per bale. He has since appealed to President Hakainde Hichilema as the chief marketing officer for Zambia to go to countries like China and find a better market for the tobacco grown in Zambia.
When all tobacco merchants left us alone, the president came to Mugubudu and then we were growing barley tobacco. The president had to go to the government coffers and withdraw money and bought the tobacco from all the tobacco farmers. Because the government is a last resort buyer. Government is a last resort buyer. Whenever farmers get stuck, the government comes in. I think I want to commend my fourth Republican late Rupia Banda, that may he so rest in peace. He was the only man who had the tobacco industry at heart. I remember I made attempts that a factory, a processing factory should be built in Eastern Province, to be specific, Chipata. And I don't know now that he has died or he has gone. I don't know that that dream will come back to life. Let me bemoan. I hear the floors have been opened in Keyema, Western Province. Floors have been opened in Lusaka. They are also opening in Chipata. The new Dawn government, I'm appealing to you, let's be sincere with ourselves and to everybody else. Let's talk the truth. Let's face the realities. We're talking about centralization, taking the service as close as possible to the people.
Christian Coalition Vice President in charge of governance and politics, Dr. Lakson Banda, has called for genuine dialogue among political leaders for the sake of peace, which he says will enhance good governance. Dr. Banda says that the continued political tension among political leaders has the potential to divide the country. Meanwhile, Dr. Banda has also called on the New Dawn government to ensure sanity is restored among the church leaders. He was speaking when he featured on Muvi TV's special interview.
The problem is that in Zambian politicians want to fix one another, of which we rebuke you as a church, as a coalition. We rebuke the politicians of this country. Do not use this country. do not use the vote that the Zambian people give you as a conduit to propagate your bitterness, your retribution, and also your ungodly agenda. What we are saying as a church is, for quite a long time now, this country has been polarized. And then disparaging statements which aim at dividing this nation have been flying up and down, even on the media. We, as a church, we are calling upon our politicians in this country to understand that Zambia is bigger than them. Zambia is bigger than any political party. What we want to see as a church in Zambia is a united country, a united nation, a nation that will not be divided based on race, based on tribe, based on the language you speak, based on your faith, also based on your political affiliation. Between, I think, between 2000 and now, I think our country has been divided. We've been torn apart. And I believe we are tired now. We are tired of the bitterness. We are tired of politics of vengeance. We are tired of politics of mudslinging, politics of name calling, politics of insults, politics of intimidation, and the politics of using power, which is given by the people, to fix one another.
It is now time for the picture of the day on the use of local language.
Who are laughing at me to say, no, we don't know how we'll be articulating things. They don't even talk in parliament. But me, every day, you will see the same broken English at least. Today, I'll speak broken, maybe 80% broken. But tomorrow, it will be 60% broken. So every day, I'm improving.
You're perfecting.
Yes, I'm perfect. No one can have win. So, and now, I can't. I'll teach them. Look, mwana muyango MP wakunkana nimpunzisa bamba naoneka bwino. Thank you so much. Mukwaso Marira ichakawera pani 10 out of 10. Kupambana na mwipunzira kulusaka. Ndozoba pambana wansa kulusaka. Vantu ochoka kulusaka kwa pambana. Koma muntu nzotatia ku school katatu kutoka grade 5 to grade 7. And then kala 5 years also out of school. Koma kuzopambana muntu olutatia ku school bino bwino. Mulungu ni mukulu. Nichite chinji romba ne kuona nilipalulu pa second floor pa protea. I said, what am I going to do? I looked, I opened the curtain, looked down outside. It was far. I said, what am I going to do? Here I can't jump, this side I can't go. What am I going to do? I decided just to break the window, then to jump. I said,
well, you're still watching Movie TV's Primetime News. We take a break. Still to come as more news items. Stay tuned.
We are delighted to add Lubumbashi and Goma to our network. Welcome aboard Rwandair, Africa's safest airline that will connect you to more than 24 destinations throughout the network.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
Welcome back. Information and Media Permanent Secretary Kennedy Kalunga has announced that government is to take the access to information BU ATI to all the 10 provinces of the country in order to widen stakeholder consultation on the bill. Mr. Kalunga says following the consultative meeting with the media and other stakeholders on the bill in Lusaka recently, some stakeholders have proposed to the ministry that more stakeholders need to be consulted on the bill across the country, which proposal the ministry has fully embraced. In a statement, the Permanent Secretary says that there is a general impression that the ATI is for the media alone when it is not, hence the decision to subject it to wider consultation with other stakeholders in the country. Mr. Kalunga adds that technocrats in the ministry have since commenced preparations for the provincial meetings with the stakeholders. The Permanent Secretary was speaking when a delegation comprising officials from Panos and Interns Network Zambia called on him at his office in Lusaka. The officials comprised Panos Executive Director Vusumuzi Sifile and Chief of Party for Open Spaces, a consortium comprising Internews Network Zambia, Panos and other advocacy institutions, Tauda Mawarire, and Mr. Sifire and Ms. Mawarire commended government for the open door and inclusive manner it is handling the ATI process. The two officials further commended government for deciding to extend the consultation process to stakeholders to all the 10 provinces in the country. They also pledged the organization's continued support to the process.
The youth population is economically vulnerable due to high unemployment levels worsened by the COVID-19 pandemic. To address the challenges, the government of the Republic of Zambia, under the leadership of His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, the Republican President acknowledges that the solutions to the challenges lies not only in creating an enabling policy environment to enhance social, economic and governance opportunities for all citizens, especially the youth, but also in listening to the youths themselves to appreciate their developmental aspirations and ideas. It is for this reason that I'm here today to listen to you, the youth researchers' findings and recommendations that I am reliably informed are aimed at informing youth-focused policy processes in the framework of post-COVID recovery. This comes at the right time for my country as we are in the process of reviewing the 2015 policy and formulating our new national youth policy and developing a national youth strategy. Under the new Dawn government, the findings of the researchers are key in informing our revised national youth policy and other policy interventions by government concerning youth development. I look forward to a fruitful engagement with you and with the youth of the world throughout this conference.
Central Province Permanent Secretary Milna Mwanakapwe has implored the firefighters, drivers in Zambia to apply defensive driving measures, skills, and solutions. Speaking during the first ever defensive driving course graduations for firefighters at National Firefighting School in Kabwe District, Mr. Mwanakapwe says accident prevention and avoidance through hazard identification and defensive driving techniques is what has been lacking amongst the drivers. 78 students, among them 78 males and 1 female, fire tender drivers drawn from across the country have been undergoing a 2-week defensive driving course at the National Firefighting School in Kabwe District. A concerned citizen and Lusaka-based businessman Alex Walia has bemoaned the below-par pricing index by the Zambia Public Procurement Authority, ZPPA, which says is blocking a lot of suppliers to do business with government. Mr. Walia says that the index pricing list is not reflective of the local and global markets, which has left suppliers in limbo. Speaking in an interview with Muvi TV News, Mr. Walia has on ZPPA to expedite procurement processes and revisit the price index to reflect market forces.
an introspection on their market prices regarding the price index that they have. This price index does not relate with the current market forces. The market prices, if you are to compare them with those that are listed at the ZPPA index, they are completely contrary. We wish to urge ZPPA to revise or to revisit their market index so as to enable the small, medium enterprises to thrive. This index does not at all reflect either the local markets, either the global markets. So we are urging them to revisit the price index at ZPPA and that they should expedite the processes of procurement because businesses are affected. The president has set a directive that these businesses should continue to thrive and these businesses should continue to operate normally as they should. But there's an hindrance at the ZPPA. So we are urging the ZPPA to revisit the price index so that it can be beneficial to the small markets as well as the larger markets. I think that is our appeal in essence, that the Zambian people can benefit from this.
We take a break. Still to come as more news items. Do not go away.
Anyone can get lucky.
Fairview University College is enrolling students for the January-April 2022 intake in the following: School of Education, Bachelor of Education in Early Childhood Education, Bachelor of Education in Primary Education, Bachelor of Education in Secondary Education, Bachelor of Education in Special Education, Diploma in Early Childhood Education, Diploma in Primary Education, Diploma in Secondary Education, Diploma in Special Education, Certificate in Early Childhood Education, School of Humanities and Social Sciences, Diploma in Public Relations, School of Hotel and Tourism, Diploma in Food and Production, Diploma in Front Office, Diploma in Food and Beverages Management, Diploma in Hospitality and Events Management, and Diploma in Sales and Marketing. For more information, visit us at Regent College along Kwazi Road or the North Mid Campus at plot number 11 Luamba Road, Lusaka, or call us on 0955 787114 or 0966 787114 or 0977 787114. Fairview University College. We aim at excellence.
We are delighted to add Lubumbashi and Goma to our network. Welcome aboard Rwandair, Africa's safest airline that will connect you to more than 24 destinations throughout the network.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
Welcome back, and now the rest of the news. A European Union-funded project has upscaled on farm trails where adaptive research is carried out to ensure farmers register increase the harvest in 5 provinces of Zambia. National Project Coordinator for the Sustainable Intensification of Smallholder Farming System in Zambia, Sifaza Project Geoffrey Silemba, said this when he toured various agriculture interventions undertaken by the project in Mazabuka, Monze, and Choma. Mr. Zulemba says the diverse sustainable intention practices will see yields and incomes of the farmers increasing. The project is implemented by the Food Agriculture Organization of the United Nations Ministry of Agriculture and International Maize and Wheat Improved Center in 27 districts. More in the following report. We now head on to international news. Let's join DW.
Signs of spring greeted Kyiv on Saturday as Ukraine shakes off its winter and enters a new phase of war. There may be a change in strategy after Russian defeats, but there's little respite for those on the front lines of battle. Many are visibly exhausted but steadfast in their determination to stay. Putin came, as you can see, he says. Our children and grandchildren are dying. I'm 62. I can't leave this place. I'll stay here. If need be, I will die here. But I will not give them Ukraine. Ukrainian forces have recaptured areas on the outskirts of the capital, Kyiv. Still, lives continue to be destroyed. At this hospital in Kharkiv, the wounded continue to arrive as Ukrainian forces come under heavy fire. In Mariupol, the damage inflicted by Russian bombs is clear. Unfortunately, nothing remains of Mariupol, and they're bombing it with savage weapons. This last week there have been explosions like I've never heard before. They hit residential.
We asked him in Ukraine and in Russia to make of Moscow's announcement today.
I think there are very few people here in Ukraine who would take that announcement at face value. I think this is more about trying to make lesser demands, make a more manageable goal to then sell to the Russian public as a success, given what is arguably a fiasco in the rest of the country and Russia's failure to make significant progress in recent weeks. Going into this, you had messages from Moscow about being able to take Kiev in a matter of days rather than weeks, and that obviously hasn't happened. Indeed, there is a lot of fighting beyond Donbass, not just around me here in Kiev, 25 kilometers down the road in Irpin. The fighting continues, although it seems like the Ukrainians will be able to push back Russian forces quite significantly in some places near Kiev. In the south, around Mykolaiv, Kherson, is some news coming in today that even the Ukrainians were able to return to Kherson, which had been the one major Ukrainian city under full Russian control so far. So pretty difficult to really judge those carefully because there aren't many journalists, independent journalists on the ground, but a sense that this is a war that is very much going on, and this is by no means the beginning of the end.
Kilometers from the Polish border and has been seen as something of a safe haven for those fleeing the Russian invasion of the eastern, northern, and southern parts of Ukraine. After the blasts, black smoke was seen rising above the city. A local city council official called on people to remain calm and to stay in their homes. Let's get straight across to DW's correspondent, Fanny Fachar, who is reporting for us from Lviv. Fanny, tell us, what have you seen and heard?
We were in the middle of editing a story for DW News for tomorrow as I heard explosions, and some of us actually in the hotel thought maybe this is just thunder, as it was really windy all day. It started to rain, but it turned out it wasn't thunder. It was several explosions. It's yet not confirmed actually what the target of that attack was. The governor here of the state says that apparently 4 people have been wounded in 2 airstrikes, but once again the conflicting information here, how many airstrikes, how many explosions, and not even talking about just really how many people were wounded in it. I never thought and believed that actually I would have to wear a flak jacket and a helmet in Lviv, the biggest city of Western Ukraine, because actually this is a part of Ukraine that so far more or less was considered safe, even though just over a week ago on March 18th the civilian airport, which is about 7 kilometers from here, was also hit without casualties, thankfully. But it clearly tells you that these attacks, these airstrikes, indicate that even the western part of Ukraine is not safe. The question really is whether these airstrikes are more of a symbolic, have a more of a symbolic meaning to scare people than actually damage a lot of things. We do not know that yet.
Now, despite these explosions, it does appear that people there are out in the streets. What was the reaction to this from where you were?
Exactly. Even now, you probably see people are walking behind me. Actually, the air raid siren, that signal that something is going to happen or is likely to happen, it's not over yet. So people are actually meant to be inside, in a bomb shelter, in a bunker, or just be it in their bathrooms in their apartments, because that's deemed the most safe place in any apartment. However, yes, you see also people walking around, because it's obviously not the first time that they hear an air raid. Sometimes you hear it several times a day, and in a way, ironically or not, but people are actually getting used to this. It's been almost, it's the 2nd month actually of this war that started on February 24th, and people kind of develop a routine when they hear an air raid. However, certainly more people are inside, but then that speculation whether it's to the bad weather or actually to the air raid, we do not know, but there are always very mixed reactions when there's an air raid siren. However, given the fact that this is for the 2nd time that missiles have hit, cruise missiles hit Lviv, it certainly indicates that more is to come. In fact, on the Twitter page of the mayor of Lviv, people are warned to stay at home because he expects more airstrikes to come and to hit Lviv today.
And Fanny, can you give us a sense of how close you are to where these explosions took place? And how close they are to the center, for that matter?
Quite close. Yes, quite close, given if really those missiles hit apparently the TV tower, but that's not confirmed yet. If that was the case, it's really just a few kilometers from here. But as I say, there's a lot of speculation what was actually hit. So as long as we do not know that information, I can only say that it happened towards the eastern part of Lviv, the eastern outskirts of the city center, but we could hear the explosions ourselves here in the city center, and smoke has been photographed actually by one of my colleagues rising over a building. But once again, I do not want to feed into any speculation here as long as we do not have more information, as we're waiting to hear for more information what really the target was of that explosion that happened just about an hour ago here in Lviv, in the biggest city of Western Ukraine.
Saw 4 talks with his Polish counterpart, Andrzej Duda. The two are set to discuss the situation in Ukraine, with the West's military, humanitarian, and economic response to the war on the agenda. Earlier, Biden also met with the Ukrainian foreign minister and defense minister in his first face-to-face talks with top Ukrainian officials since the war began. And for more, let's go to our correspondent, Barbara Vazel, who is outside the royal castle in Warsaw, where we expect U.S. President Joe Biden to speak soon. Barbara, what can we expect to hear from Biden today?
The White House has announced this as a groundbreaking speech, a speech that will set the course for the future for Western countries and NATO and generally the alliance to deal with the war in Ukraine. How do we position ourselves? We need to be unified. That is supposed to be one of the messages. We need to be strong in defending democracy, because the fight that is being fought in Ukraine is not only their own, it's it's the fight of all Western countries, the fight of democracies against autocratic countries. So this is the vein this speech will be trying to sort of set out the course for the next weeks and months and maybe years of dealing with Russia and particularly dealing with Vladimir Putin.
Now, this speech we're expecting will come off the heels of Biden's meeting with the Polish president earlier today. Do we know what came out of that?
Of course, Joe Biden again sort of told the Polish president that, yes, Article 5 of the NATO treaty, that's the article where member states promise each other that they will defend each single member state against invasions or incursions from the outside. That is valid. That article really sort of holds true, and we will stick to it. Joe Biden said we will do this. So Poland, of course, being a borderline state here, the outer the outer side of the NATO countries, it's scared in a way that the war might sort of go across the border, that they might have to defend themselves against Russian incursions, maybe bombs or maybe incursions in the airspace. So that is yet to be seen, but Joe Biden tried to really reassure the Polish side. They want 30,000 US soldiers stationed in Poland permanently. That's their wish. At the moment, there are about 10,000. We don't know yet whether Biden made any additional promises there. But of course, generally, he's really trying to do everything to tell Poland that, yes, we're by your side and we recognize your situation and you're being very brave in dealing with it and dealing particularly with the stream of refugees that is reaching Poland on a daily basis.
And in addition to the 30,000 soldiers, are there other concrete demands that Poland has made?
We end the news on that note. A recap of the top stories. Tobacco farmers in Eastern Province are still mourning Let RB. Lamezi MP exposes irregularities behind the recruitment of health workers. 20 Kapasika drivers still in custody for theft. Angry artist laments over government's failure to pay dues since the youth Indaba. The London marketeers labels LCC failure urges government to intervene. And finally, government to take access to information bill to all provinces. Thank you so much for watching the news. Continue enjoying the rest of our programming.